Lined up. I mean, am I in a good spot right now, or
I'm sorry?
is that a good spot for me?
I think so. You stay right there, and I'll get on the left side of you.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Sounds like we need that. Okay.
Okay. Hi, I'm Katie from St. Francis, and I'm talking with Nathan, who's the zookeeper here at Fort Wayne Children's Zoo. And we're going to be going over the Ruppell's Griffon Vulture here in the African belt. I'm going to ask him a few questions. And what are some of the eating habits of the Griffon Vulture?
Contrary to what most people think, they don't depend entirely on finding things other people have killed. They actually are kind of the cleanup of the belt, per se, if you want to call it that. They will find like wildebeest that have died already. So a lot of it's of natural causes.
Okay, so they don't rely on predators?
They don't entirely. They do eat a lot of things. They wait till, like, say, a lion has left a carcass, and they'll come in and clean it up. But
okay. And so, because it is a scavenger, what unique things about the eating the stomach, per se, because they're eating rotten flesh and stuff, what would be something that they have adapted?
oh, like we talked about, they do have different enzymes. They're also able to hold more food in their crop than other birds, so they can go 3 or 4 days without eating once they fill up. So that gives them an advantage.
Now, what happens if they eat a lot? Can they still fly?
They can usually maintain.
Okay.
Yeah.
What makes the African savanna a good place for the Ruppell's Griffon vulture?
Just the vast amount of animals and the chance of so many different animals being there for them to eat. And also they rely on their sight instead of smell. Like they're considered old world vultures, and they rely on their sight instead of their smell. So they actually don't really have a sense of smell.
Oh, really?
So flying above the savanna gives them an easy view of everything below.
Okay.
And even from as high as they fly, they can pick stuff out.
Okay. And some other things that I noticed about the Griffon vulture is that they have a bald head. Can you tell me why?
The bald head is, as far as scientists can tell, is mostly cleanliness. I mean, anything that eats and tears apart flesh, I mean, they basically disembowel what they eat. They tend to flip the guts all over them, so keeping those short, downy feathers on the head actually keeps them clean.
Do they have any preference for the animals that they eat? Or is it just pretty much a free-for-all?
It's pretty much a free-for-all, but I have read that, at a carcass, some of them have a preference for different parts of the animal, and, there's dominance and who gets what, so, yeah.
Okay, and do you know, when the Griffon vulture is being threatened, what are some of the ways that it reacts?
They tend to puff up a little bit, like a lot of birds. That's a very typical thing. They do make a sound, which I can't really, make it. It's a very unique sound that they make when they get really mad. They do hiss. Very loud hiss. So those are a few of the...
And if we would see one out in the wild, do they usually spend their time on the ground, or would they be spending their time with the air?
Probably I'd say it's a combination mostly of air and they like cliff faces, actually, is where they hang out. They'll use trees. They mostly like cliff faces, like on just real rocky, like semi-desert type areas.
Okay, very cool. And how about its interaction with other Griffon vulture? Do they tend to stay on their own, or would they kind of like
Well, they mate. They pair up. They could be within a group of up to like 1,000 pairs, and they actually mate for life.
Okay.
Which can be up to 40+ years.
Okay.
So.
And how many eggs does the female produce every year?
That one I don't know.
You
have to cut that one out.
Okay, I'll cut it out.
Like off the top of my head, this part should just go, because the flying one too, I was remembering back that if they do eat too much, they can't fly.
Yeah.
So those are a couple of things you'll probably have to take out.
Yeah, I remember reading about it, and they said they can eat their body.
Yeah, they can, and then they can't fly.
Yeah.
When you asked me, I didn't register.
It's fine. And I was reading this one thing where it was talking about how if they have just eaten and they're being attacked by a predator, that they can't get away because they can't fly.
Yeah.
They double their body.
They do gorge themselves.
Yeah.
So.
But it's good because food like that probably comes not very often.
Exactly.
I happen to do that. Is there anything else that haven't covered that?
One thing that I think is interesting is how high they can fly.
Yeah.
They can comfortably fly at like 20,000 feet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been said that they've crashed in airplanes at 37,000 feet. So they also have a special enzyme in their body that allows them to retain more oxygen. Because at those altitudes are just not enough for them to survive. So it's kind of fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Well, that concludes the interview, and I hope this helped out. Thank you.
Is that
Thank
good
you
enough?
so much.
Or?
Yeah, I think so. I just wanted to get like a quick rant.
Okay, cool.
About it.
Yeah, I just had those a couple things I was like.
I know, like I'll just edit it out. I'll play with it and.
Well, you know which ones were wrong, so.
Better. So let me stop it.